Friday.
So I saw yet another commercial for that Space Jam ripoff that's upcoming. I saw it last night during the game. The original, this is the way to say it. The original's already been originated.
Well, but sometimes the sequel is better than the original.
Oh, really? Well, in this commercial, LeBron says, "You've got to be kidding." My sentiments exactly. You're going to try to out-Jordan Michael Jordan in the one and only Space Jam?
I bet we do more bigger box office. What you want to bet?
Well, maybe there are more people.
No more people. The more people gonna go see it.
I'll bet you get some negative reviews for this.
No, you. The only negative review is coming from you.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
You know, exactly 2 weeks away at this point from that movie coming out. I'd like to be at the premiere. Shannon, you get that invite. You better invite me.
We got it.
Skip, you're not invited. You're not invited.
Good.
Yeah. You have a lot to say about that. From in 2 weeks exactly. But we have to talk about what we saw last night other than those commercials with no Giannis or Trae Young on the court. The Bucks were able to take advantage with both team star players out last night with a 123-112 win. 4 of the Bucks' 5 starters had at least 20 points, with Brook Lopez leading the way with 33 as Milwaukee now leads the series 3-2. So, Shannon, are you still sticking with the Hawks to get to the finals?
Skip, I believe the Hawks will win Game 6 on Saturday, and they will force a Game 7. But I just didn't think the Hawks came out with the intensity in Game 5.
I'd say not.
Skip, they didn't have a defensive rebound until 4 minutes left in the first quarter. It's amazing. Brook Lopez went to bed on Wednesday night and said, "You know what? I think I'm 7 foot 1 inches tall." Not 6 foot 1. Why am I shooting threes?
You realize he weighs almost 300 pounds?
Yes.
He's a big boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holiday was talking about it after the game. He's 7 foot 1. He's better around the basket than he's outside.
Who knew?
Wow. You mean to tell me Bud's been coaching this man for like 3-4 years and they hadn't told him that? Skip, 33 points, a playoff career high. 26 of the 33 came in the paint. Wow. So, in other words, had they been doing this all along, who knows? The series might have been over in 4. They almost let the Hawks back in the game, Skip. They get layup. Brook Lopez looking like Zion Williamson, dunking alley-oops. He catching, dunking everything. Holiday getting to the basket. Middleton getting to the basket. And they're like, man, this is too easy. Man, you know what we do. We shoot threes. And here they come, Skip. 3 or 4 straight possession. 3, 3, 3. Atlanta says, okay, thank you. They go down, make a 3, get a layup, and 1, 3, and the next thing you know, it's an 8-9 point ball game when it could have been over a lot earlier than what it was.
Yep.
I do not believe that Giannis is going to come back for Game 6. I'm not sure that he comes back for Game 7 because when you're dealing with a Giannis Antetokounmpo and you're dealing with a knee injury, the last thing you want to do, Skip, is they say, well, you can't make it any worse. Yeah, you can. Because if you couldn't make it any worse, you'd be out there playing with it. You'd be playing now. So for me, I'm going to say Atlanta forces a Game 7. And if they can get it to a Game 7, Milwaukee hasn't felt this kind of pressure. Because, Skip, the pressure on a Game 7 is all on the home team. Because you're supposed to win. That's what you fought so hard for, to have the better record. I'm going to say, I believe Atlanta will get them in the Game 7. If they can get it back to Milwaukee.
Do you really?
Yeah, you look at the numbers. Chris Middleton, 26 and 13, 8 assists, 50% field goal shooting. True Holiday, 25, 13, 6 rebounds. Bobby Portis. Skip, I've been asking for Bobby Portis. He could do a lot of things. He bangs the board. He can shoot inside. He can get to the 3. He's a very good defender. I like what I saw from the Bucks last night. I just didn't like what I saw from the Hawks as far as intensity. But still, the Bucks shot. Skip, if you kill him in the paint, you got 66 point paints without Giannis.
Yep.
Why the hell you need to get up 29 threes? I mean, you get whatever you want, Skip. I mean, you just laid it up left and right. I mean, dunking. It's like they got a quota they got to fill as far as 3-pointers. Give the Bucks credit. They did what they needed to do without Giannis.
Yep.
They banged inside, and they did a great job. But I expect to see a much better Atlanta Hawks team on Saturday night than what you saw last night, and they're coming back to Milwaukee.
Okay, I will buy better Atlanta Hawks team on Saturday night. But it sounds to me like after what you saw and I saw last night, you're not so sure about the Hawks winning a Game 7.
I don't feel as comfortable as because, Skip, the thing that you can't give up ground like that. And I will try to watch. I watched Trae warm up. It ain't looking good that he's gonna be able to play Saturday night, Skip.
He was wincing.
You saw that too, huh? You saw that too, huh?
Well, TNT caught him out very early.
Yeah.
And he was trying to shoot his little floater, and here it is, and he's grimacing off just a little floater, and this, oh, he didn't really even jump.
Yeah.
And he's grimacing. I don't know exactly what the injury is. It's a bone bruise, I guess. I thought it was an ankle turn to start with, but if it's a bone bruise, now he feels like he can't even hop on it.
It's like his midfoot.
Okay, so that looks pretty shaky to me. So if Trey can't go on Saturday night, it's hard for me to love Atlanta even at home in that crazy State Farm that it will be. As you said, they're going to turn it up and turn it on.
They are.
Okay, back to what I saw last night. I slept on this, and I woke up, and it hit me right between the eyes. Are you sure that the Milwaukee Bucks aren't a little better all-around basketball team, a playoff basketball team without Giannis? I have never been the biggest Giannis fan. I've been staunch in my opinion about this from day one. He is a regular season stat machine.
Right.
Never been anything quite like him. He is a PER Prince, player efficiency rating Prince. He is a back-to-back two-time MVP of this league. He is just an automatic, 30 and 15 in regular season games, sometimes in playoff games. And other times in playoff games, he just shrinks and disappears. They build the wall. He has no answer to the wall because he has no real mid-range game.
None.
And what do we see regularly from him? We see air ball free throws. We see air ball threes.
Yes.
We see too many threes. When you shoot air balls in big playoff games, it takes the heart out of your team. Your team loses faith and trust in the best player by far on the floor.
Yes.
So basketball is a five-man game. And last night, they played five-man basketball. And if you look at these numbers they put up, albeit against a Hawks team that did not show up, especially in the first quarter.
Yes.
But look at the damage that got done. As you pointed out, 66 paint points. But Brook Lopez goes 14 of 18 for 33. And then look at those two guards. Both of them all-star guards, right? And Middleton goes for 26, and Drew goes for 25. And Portis, who I have always liked to the point of love since he was SEC Player of the Year at Arkansas. Remember, he is 6'10", 250 pounds. He packs a punch and a load. Well, all of a sudden, he chips in with 22 points. And they're all making half or more than half of their shots. Well, they got outshot from three again. It's 15-9 Atlanta from three. So that's plus 6 times 3. That's plus 18. Well, guess what? They won by 11 because they just look like the better, stronger, more physical, more dominant in the paint basketball team.
Well, Skip, I look at it like this. Maybe because all of a sudden Lopez could be in the low block because Giannis isn't in the low block.
Thank you.
Because Giannis occupies that space. It ain't like he gonna shoot threes. At least Lopez can say, I do have three-point range. I'm not 40%.
No, he's not. He's 34%. But he's got range because he has a nice shot. Okay? So what do we know about Brook Lopez? A lot of people have forgotten. And just let me finish making my case about this, because I always had high respect for him when he was called Brooklyn Brook. It lasted 9 years. This is obviously pre-KD and Kyrie and Harden.
He used to be really good.
Okay, but they weren't really good. They made the playoffs twice in 9 years.
But he
did make the All-Star team. In 2013, guess what? He made the All-Star team. And I went back last night and looked at all the numbers he put up for 9 years. That's a long time. And he was always around 20 and 8. And his high points was 21, his high rebounds were 9. So he's in that range of 28, okay? Well, that's good enough to be an all-star. And he was always high, over 2 blocks a game. That's a lot of blocks. So the point is that he never shot threes. It took him until year 7 before he even made his first three. So he wasn't even trying. In the first 8 years he was in Brooklyn, he was 3 of 31 from 3, which means he just wasn't really even trying to make threes. And then guess what? Kenny Atkinson took over and Sean Marks took over. And they said, well, the analytics say, and that next year he goes 3 crazy. This was his 9th year in Brooklyn. He goes 387 3 attempts and made 134. And then he had that one ill-fated year with the Lakers. I don't know what that was. They didn't know how to use him, and he didn't like it there. He winds up in Milwaukee. And what does he do? He's just jacking up threes like crazy because they have Giannis.
Right.
So they said, we'll put the 7-footer out on the flanks and we'll make you defend him, right?
Yeah.
And what has he done? Last year, Brook Lopez was on second team all defense for the Milwaukee. Second team.
Yeah.
He was second in the league in blocks last year, so he can rim protect.